Hello everyone. So our lesson for today is the tables, span, and the IB tags. So the first I'll explain is the tables. So the HTML tables allows web authors to arrange data like text, image links, other tables, etc. into rows and columns of cells. The HTML tables are created using the table tag, in which the tr tag is used to create table rows and the td tag is used to create data cells. So I have here my example. So this is the td, the tr, and the table. So if you run this in the browser, so this will produce this following example. So here border is an attribute of table tag, and it is used to put a border across all the cells. If you do not need a border, then you can use a border 0. And then we have the table heading. So the table heading can be defined using the table heading tag. This is the table heading tag. So this tag will be put to replace the data cells tags. So which is used to represent actual data cells. Normally, you will put your top row as table heading as shown to this example. So otherwise, you can use the table heading element in any row. So the next one, we have the cell padding. So these are the two attributes called cell padding and cell spacing, which you will use to adjust the white space in your table cells. The cell spacing attribute defines the width of the border, while cell padding represents the distance between cell borders and the content within the cell. So is the cell spacing the width of the border, and the cell padding this. Next, we have the call span and row span attributes. So you will use call span attribute if you want to merge two or more columns into a single column. Similar way, you will use row span if you want to merge two or more rows. Just like this, combines the two columns. Let's now move into the table backgrounds. So you can set table background using one of the following two ways. So the BG color attribute, you can set background color for whole table or just for one cell. So the background attribute, you can set background image for whole table or just one cell. You can also set border color also using border color. So if you run this, the browser, you will see the result. So here is an example of using background. You will use an image available in your image directory. So this will produce the following result. And as you can see, it behind the text. So we have the table height and width. You can set a table width and height with using width and height attributes. You can specify table width or height in terms of pixels or in terms of percentage of available screen area. The width and the height. So if you open this in the browser, this will produce the following result. It becomes wider. Next, we have the table caption. So the caption tag will serve as the title or explanation for the table, and it shows up at the top of the table. So this tag is deprecated in newer version of HTML and XHTML. So if you open this in the browser, you will see the following result. So as you can see, it shows up at the top of our table. Next, we have the table header, body, and footer. So tables can be divided into three portions: a header, a body, and the footer. So the head and foot are rather similar to headers and footers in a word process document that remain the same for every page, while the body is the main content of the table. So the three elements for separating the head, body, and foot of a table are the table head element tags. It is used to create a separate table header, and the table body element tags is to indicate the main body of the table, and the table footer is to create a separate table footer. So a table may contain several table body elements to indicate different pages or groups of data. But it is notable that table head and table footer tags should appear before table body. So this is our table head, the table body, and our table footer. So lastly, in the tables, we have the nested tables. So you can use one table inside another table. Not only tables, you can use almost all the tags inside the table data tag. So if you open this in the browser, you will see the following result. Now, let's now move in to the HTML span tag. So, the HTML span element tag is used for grouping and applying styles to inline elements. There is a difference between the span tag and the div tag. So, the span tag is used with inline elements, while the div tag is used with block level content. So, these are the span element tags. If you open this in the browser, you will see it adds colors to our text. So next, we have the div tags. So the HTML div tag is used for defining a section of your document. With the div tag, you can group large sections of HTML elements together and format them with CSS. So the difference between the div tag and the span tag is that the div tag is with block level elements, while the span tag is used with the inline elements. So right now, I will use CSS because the div tags can't run without the help of CSS. So this is my code for CSS. So later on, after the lesson for HTML, I will explain more about CSS. So if you open this in the browser, you will see it gives color to our text using CSS. So that's all. I hope you learned something for to our lesson.